Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome, my name is Aiden. I'm so happy that you are here. This is kind of a crazy one. Last year I split it into two. This year I'm going to try to do it all together. So hopefully it's not too long. I'm going to go as fast as I can. So if I go too fast, I'm sorry. I was just trying to make the video a little shorter. Anyway, this is all of the Too Faced holiday palettes. I got all of them. Last year I missed a couple of the holiday palettes because I knew I wasn't either going to use them or I already had the mini gingerbread I already had. I will have both of those videos linked up above so you can kind of see my thoughts from the palettes last year. In case you're interested, this year I have the two minis. I have Forbidden Fruitcake and Christmas Coffee. I have Cinnamon Swirl, which is their just tin packaging. Then I have all of their holiday themed palettes. So there's a lot of them. We have Christmas Around the World, which consists of 3 palettes. We have Christmas in the Alps, which is a face and cheek palette, or eyes and cheek palette. There is Christmas in the City, which is a blush palette and 2 eyeshadow palettes. And then we have Christmas in London, which is a blush and eyeshadow palette. So all of these, I've worn almost every shade in the palette. I don't think there's any that I missed. I'm going to swatch all of them, tell you how they performed, if I had any issues with them, what those issues were, and just kind of give you a breakdown of all of them. At the end, I'm going to rank them all, and I will tell you why I chose to put them where I did. Yeah, so get ready. I should say there are a couple of other holiday sets that they did. They did like a couple lipstick ones and a bronzer one, but those I'm not interested in, so I didn't get those. And I feel like these are things that I'll actually carry through and use with me, or they're very cute. So let's start with the Cinnamon Swirl palette. This is kind of a tradition now. They started with the gingerbread, then they did the extra spicy, then they did the pumpkin pie, and now they're on the Cinnamon Swirl. Because cinnamon rolls are Christmassy, I guess. I don't know. And I should say, if you see anything funky under my eye, I had an allergic reaction to a mascara, and the eyeshadow look is actually from one of these palettes, so I will show you what they are, but it kind of gives you an idea of what I did with these as well. Like, I don't do really crazy looks, but there's always a shimmer, there's always some prettiness. So there are a lot of shades in this. Let me count because people get upset if I miscount. 18, right? 6 times 3 is 18. I'm not a math teacher. It's been a while since I've been in a math class, and sometimes your brain just makes up things. All right, so there's kind of a wide a range of neutrals in here. There are a few pops of colors. That bottom row, which is kind of your top row, has the most colorful shadows in it, but overall it's not the most colorful palette. All right, so I messed up. That's the last shade in the palette, but there you go. You can see all of the shades and how they swatch. This did swatch absolutely beautifully. The performance is really good as well. This is the first palette that I used, so it's been a little while since I actually broke it out and used it, but I do really like the shimmers in this. These go on just as well with the finger as with the brush. I probably actually would put them on with the finger a little bit more than with the brush. There's just something about the way the formula is with this particular palette. So that's what they look like. I think it is a beautiful palette. I didn't use every single shade in this palette. I haven't used Sticky Fingers. It looked like See Me Rollin'. I hadn't used that one either. And I feel like I tried to stay current, but it didn't look like I had put anything in it. I do like it. I feel like it is kind of a boring palette though, because it is a very, very basic neutral palette. So if that's what you want, this is a great palette. But I don't find it as exciting or as compelling as some of the other palettes that they've done in this line. Basically, it's the purples that got me with this one, and I don't know. I like it, but it's not a love for me, and it's not one that I'm going to be like, ooh, I really want to break out my cinnamon roll palette because I just really need that. But the mattes are, for the most part, very soft. There was one in there as I was swatching them that felt a little bit more chalky than the others, but the rest of them blended out really, really well. The purple is probably kind of disappointing. Purples are like notoriously the hardest shade to use, but yeah, I do like it. I think it is a nice palette. And if you're looking for those shades, then I think it's a good one. Let's talk Christmas coffee. This one, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I really, really need to get this one. Oh, and I should say, these are supposed to be scented, and this one has a very slight smell. I don't feel like these are as scented as the ones that have been in the past, which was kind of surprising to me. I felt like, I don't know, they kind of let me down, but that's also good because some of them have been way too scented for my taste. I don't really get the cinnamon rolls. Like, it's just the barest hint, like a pinch of cinnamon in there. Like, it's not very cinnamony at all. Back to Christmas coffee. So 8 shades in these little guys. I do like that they're all the same size. They have done other ones where they've been slightly different sizes, and I'm like, why? So you do have like 3 pretty light shades, 3 pretty dark shades. You have 3 shimmers and 5 mattes. Yes. And let me swatch it for you. All right, so there are the 8 shades. You do have some very light shades you can't even really see. That's basically like my skin tone. I didn't actually use that shade. I used the other ones because it was so similar to my skin tone. The matte and the shimmer look pretty darn similar when they are swatched, but looking at them like really up close like this is definitely a little bit more orangey, and this one's a little bit more red. I think you can kind of see that. This one, I struggled with this one. The fallout in the 2 dark shimmer shades, the green and the red, is horrendous. I've not experienced that bad of fallout in, I don't think, ever. I brushed it off, and then later on I found it like down, like I had green mustache, like things, and I got red, like it somehow had so much fallout, it ended up in my nose, and I had like a red nose in places, and I was like, I've never experienced that with any shadow before. That's what happened with this one. So I would say avoid this one unless you're like a stupid collector like me, and I'm saying that I'm stupid. I'm not saying you're stupid, but unless you're a collector like me that just wants all of the little palettes, except for I'm missing 3 of them. 2 of them I don't want, and one of them's a repeat of bigger palettes. So avoid this one. Don't buy it. Don't waste your money. It is not worth it. It was the most disappointing of the entire line. Let's look at one of the larger palettes. So this is Christmas in London, and a lot of these did come with other things. So they come with like a mascara. I think most of these sets came with at least a mascara, if not like a lip product as well. I don't have those with me. They're in my giveaway pile because I don't use the Better Than Sex mascara because I don't like it. So Christmas in London, the packaging is absolutely beautiful. The thing I don't like about these is before they've always been like, you know, kind of shiny. They have a plastic kind of coating over them, and you didn't have to worry about them getting dirty. These are just paper. They are plain paper. They are going to get dirty. So I have been living in fear of smudging and messing up the beautiful designs. So you do have Big Ben, you have the London Eye, you have the little British flag, you have Santa up on the rooftop. Very cute. Inside you have 20 eyeshadows and 4 blushes, and you kind of have a wide range of shades. I love the shade names. I will say that. Like there's London Actually, Mulled Wine, Boxing Day, Piccadilly Thrilly, Savile Beau, instead of Row. Just really cute. There's one that's Christmas in the Tent, which just made me very, very happy. Where is it? Oh, Baking in the Tent. Baking in the Tent. That was the one that I was like, it got me. So let me swatch them for you. All right. So we have the 4 blushes. They range a lot. I am not liking shimmery blushes lately, and I don't know why, but I did struggle a little bit with the blushes. Spice Girl, which is the bottom one, took the longest to work into my skin, obviously, but I felt like I struggled to get them to work right, and I don't know why. They were a little patchy. I don't know if it was the brush, if it was me. They eventually did look okay, but I just felt like they took so much work to get the blushes in to make them look good and to make them look even and not patchy. All right, let's look at all of the eyeshadows. There are a lot of them. There are 20 of them. I really enjoyed this palette. There are some beautiful shades in here. Every single eyeshadow in here, though, every single eyeshadow in here, I would apply with a brush. I tried to apply some of the shimmers with my finger, and it did not work. They just like clung to my finger, and they didn't want to like transfer to the eye at all. It was just really, really bizarre. It's funny because I would say all of these paper packaging for this year, the city themes, same thing. Don't apply them with your finger. It just doesn't work. There are some beautiful shades in here. I do like the variety of colors. This is probably, I feel like you have more of a color palette here because you have some purples, you have some pinks, you have some browns, you have a lot of shimmers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 7 shimmers, so you do get like a good variety. I feel like if you're looking for an all-together palette, this might be a good option for you. All right, let's look at the Christmas in the City. So you do get 3 items in this set. Mascara too, I'm pretty sure. So the first thing is you have Christmas in Rome, which is your face palette. There are 4 blushes. In this palette. Then you have Christmas in Paris, gorgeous packaging as always. And in here you have 12 eyeshadows. And finally you have Christmas in Los Angeles, and you have 12 shades in this one as well. We're gonna start with Christmas in Rome. So you have like the Colosseum and the Vatican, I'm assuming, and Roman ruins. And like I said, inside you have 4 blushes. You have kind of a variety of blush shades in here for sure. All right, I did double swatch that top one because it was so light that you could not see it on my first like swipe through. I was like, they're not going to be able to see that. I can't see that. So these are much lighter. You do kind of get a variety of shades in here. Do I love these? No, I found like them uneven a little bit in their application, kind of like with the Christmas in London. Not my favorite formula. I don't feel like they're as good as some of their other blushes. The Papa Don't Peach was like one of my favorite blushes of all time, and this just doesn't live up to that hype, unfortunately. And I think they're fine blushes, and I mean, obviously, I just bought these for the packaging, and that's a good thing, because while I might wear these once in a while, they're not ones that I'm going to be like rabid to reach for. Let's look at the Christmas in Beverly Hills. So you have the Chinese Theater, you have the Beverly Hills Hotel, little Hollywood sign and stuff going on there. It's very, very cute. Like I said, the packaging on these is just, I love it. All right, so there they all are swatched. You have a lot of shimmers in this palette, as you can see. So if you want a shimmer heavy palette, this is a good one. This one, I try to use each of these palettes on their own, and this one was a bit difficult to use on its own because there are so many shimmers in it, and I felt like I needed a couple more mattes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, like 7 of them are shimmers out of 12. So yeah, I do like the shades. The Yule by the Pool was very pretty, obviously, like that blue, just kind of a fun pop of blue. I wish it wasn't so shiny. Like the reflective packaging, it just kind of drives me nuts. So there are some very pretty shades. I liked the gold. Here for the Hose, H-O-S. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it. The Xmas in La La Land was pretty, but I just struggled to make looks with just this palette by itself because I feel like it is not a great standalone palette. So let's look at its counterpart, which also comes with it, which is Christmas in Paris. Once again, gorgeous. You got the Eiffel Tower, just so pretty, the French architecture and everything else. All right, so there we have the Christmas in Paris. As you can see, there's not quite as many shimmer shadows in there. And then I messed up and I missed this pink one that's right in the middle. It's down here on the end, so you can see it there as well. So there's some really nice colors in here. I feel like this is a good like work palette. This is definitely shades that I would wear. And I did feel comfortable for most of these wearing them to work. I mean, obviously not the like hot pink or the bright shimmery pink. But once again, all of these did perform much better using the brush than using the fingers. This is the one shade I didn't feel like it worked very well at all. It's more of a topper than a shimmer. I struggled to get it to look like anything on my eyes, no matter what I tried. I did really like Ladies Who Louvre because that one was just, I don't know, it's just a classic kind of shade. City of Lights, some of these don't perform quite as well as others. They're a little hit and miss. Some of them are much more shimmery than others, but for the most part, across the board, like I looked at my eye looks and I was like, oh, those are pretty. Like I like the way the shimmer looks, and just I was pretty happy with all of the looks that I created across the board. Let's jump back over to one of the tin packaging. Let's do Forbidden Fruitcake. This one also has 8 shades. So you do have 3 shimmer shades and 5 mattes. This is kind of a different like layout. I feel like it's not as coherent as the other one. The other one seemed like had lights and then it had darks, and I feel like this is a little bit more all over the place. So I did mention the layout, and I think it might be because it's supposed to look more like Fruitcake, where it's just random fruits in different places. This doesn't have a scent like to me at all. I don't feel like, I don't really get a scent of anything with it. This is what it looks like. This is very pretty. I do like this. I feel like, I don't know, I feel a little limited with this palette though. You do have like 2, I don't know, like just the mattes don't work with me, and I feel like the 2 shimmers are about the same, like intense, like they're both very light, and I just would have liked like a medium shimmer in there, maybe just a little bit better variety. I do think these are very pretty. I do like the shimmers that are in here. They worked very well on the skin, and I did enjoy that aspect of it. So I think it's a nice one. I think it's definitely like heads above the coffee one, and I feel like, I don't know, it's a little bit more fun than the cinnamon roll one, but it's not my favorite of the mini palettes. And if I hadn't heard like people really talking it up, I probably would have gotten it. All right, let's do Christmas Around the World. These ones I had so much fun with. I just loved the layout of these. These ones are scented, and they do have a slight scent to them. So we have Christmas in Australia. You have the little koala on the roof, which just, oh, I love that. You have the Sydney Bridge and the Opera House. Inside, this one does have a highlighter, and then you have 8 eyeshadows, and this one is kind of the most fun of the set. You definitely have a variety of shades. All right, so there we have all of the shades. You have that highlighter at the bottom. I loved this highlighter. It was so beautiful. I had so much fun with it. I used it with the other 2 palettes as well. So you do have 8 shadows in here. You can get a full look from these, but it's a little intense. Like I did one look with the like turquoise and the pink, and it was quite a lot. And then I did like maybe I used one of the shimmers anyway. There are some beautiful shimmers in here. I really do enjoy these shimmers. Some of them are a little intimidating. Like this one was a little more intimidating. This one was a little more intimidating. But I did really like this one. I think this one worked really well. Like I said with all of them though, use a brush on the shimmers. For some reason, they don't work as well with the finger. All right, next up is Christmas in New York. So you got the Statue of Liberty up there. You have the tree at Rockefeller Center. They do such a good job with the packaging. The Australian one is supposed to smell like fairy cakes. I can't remember what New York is supposed to smell like. They're very, very faint, but they do have scents, and I'll try to like stick them on the screen once I look at them. So in here you have this gorgeous pink toned palette. I did wear this in some of my videos, and Joss from Joss's Fragrance Mixology, her channel will be linked down below. She told me how beautiful the monochromatic look was, and I would agree. I really was feeling those looks. It was from this palette. All right, here we go. So I will say this is probably my favorite blush in all of the palettes. It does build up. I did build it up just a little bit because it is really light on at first, and then I built it up, and I really enjoyed it. I just wanted something that was like a little punch. I wear a mask for teaching all of the time, so when I take off my mask, I don't usually put lipstick on, and I feel like I feel so washed out without that lipstick because I'm used to having like a lighter blush. So I've wanted to like amp up my blush this year because I don't have the color on my lips, so I want more color on my face somewhere else. But I really enjoyed this palette. Oh my gosh, look at those shades. Look at that shimmer at the top. Oh, so beautiful. You only have 2 shimmers in this particular palette, which I am totally fine with. I feel like this is probably like my favorite palette out of all of them. And yeah, spoiler alert, we haven't even gotten to the ranking. But yes, I really love this one. It just makes me so happy. The last palette in this set is the Christmas in Rio. So you have the giant Jesus statue. I'm not really sure. I'm not as familiar with landmarks in South America, which I probably should. But I also feel like it doesn't have as many things, you know? And this one has a really pretty, like, very light, fruity scent. And it's very nice too. This is another blush that I really liked. Like, it doesn't look like much, but it looked really pretty on the skin. So this is a very neutral type palette, very kind of warm tones, which is right up my alley. All right, so here we have them all swatched. You have some very light shades in there. Your 2 mattes are very similar, unfortunately. I wish there was a little bit more variety in that regard, but you do have some beautiful shades in here. You do have, I really like that blush. Like, it's just really pretty on the skin, at least on my skin tone. I don't know how it would look on a darker skin tone, but yes, very pretty. I really enjoyed this palette as well. Like, I feel like it's a good everyday work palette. This is definitely one that I can reach for and wear to work and know that my look is going to look work appropriate and not like too out there, and just it's really nice. The last palette is the Christmas in the Alps. So you got your skiing going on there. It's very cute as well. This is an HSN exclusive. I don't think there's any other ones that I missed. I didn't think to look at QVC though. I probably should have. If there's one at QVC, let me know. So in here you have several different shadows. You have 12 eyeshadows and 2 blushes. I had to count because people get upset when you miscount. So you do have a lot of pinky tones in here. This is what I am wearing on my face today. I have this blush on, and then I have, which ones did I use? I used Cozy Up, I used Rum Punch, that's like up here, and then I have Sleigh Rides and Bells and Bows. That's all of the shades that I'm wearing today. All right, here are the last swatches. Woo! This video is taking way longer than I was expecting. So actually not longer than I was expecting. It just takes a long time. So you do have all of the shades. I did put the blushes down here at the end. I will say I like the non-shimmery blush better than the shimmery blush. The shimmery blush like goes on really intense, like, and you have like a blob of it, and it took a lot to work it out and to get it blended out. I didn't have that issue with the matte one, and it built up really nice. Like, I put a couple layers on just to give a little bit more color to my face. So that is what they all look like. I don't want to get too close. If I get too close, it like throws off the white balance, and I don't know why. I know it's probably because I'm so pale. But yes, beautiful shades. I really did enjoy this one as well. I didn't feel as inspired by this palette as I did by some of the other palettes. So there's some pretty shades in here, but it is pretty, like, it's pretty similar. And there's like certain shades that you're going to use in every look. I feel like Tinsel in a Tangle and Winter Dreams, they're very similar in their shades. Like they're going to be things that I use and want to use more than some of the other shades. So I wish there was like, I don't know, something else, just a little something else with this one. So ranking these was so hard, and it took me like, I still am not sure like if this is the ultimate ranking or not. Some of these I'm very sure where I would rank them. Some of them I feel a little bit more ambiguous, and they could be in a variety of different places. In first place though, I would definitely put the Christmas in the City, these 3 palettes. I really loved everything that I tried in them. I feel like I got a lot of looks. I feel like they're good stable palettes that I will actually reach for, and they are darling as well. So Christmas in the City is my #1 pick. Maybe I should have started with my least favorite. Oh well. In second place, I'm going to put the Forbidden Fruitcake. This is one that I'm like, well, you know, this could be in third place too. I feel like the formula on this is just really, really good. And if you're looking for just like a basic palette, something that you will reach for more than just in the holiday, this is a good one. I feel like the shades really, like, they work well. And I do love the 2 shimmers in here. That's basically why it got that high. In third place, I'm going to put the Cinnamon Swirl. It's boring. I will fully admit it's boring, but it works really well. And it's another one that I feel like you have a good variety, and it will be useful for you in a lot more situations than some of these other ones. So yeah, third place is Cinnamon Swirl. In fourth place, I'm going to put Christmas in the Alps. I do really like this, and they have it at HSN. They had 2 different versions of this. It was $45 for just the palette, or you could get for $45 also. They had one with a full-size mascara and lip gloss. So I got that one. So I have those as gifts. But yes, I'm going to put this one in fourth place. Sorry, fourth place. I like the shades a lot. I feel like this is one that I will reach for. I like this blush way more than this blush, but I could get that blush to work. I'm just not into shimmery blushes right now, and I don't know why. I will also say I by no means would say don't buy any of these. Like, I like all of these except for the one that's in last place. In fifth place, I'm going to put Christmas in London. I know somebody else reviewed this and didn't like it, and I was like, I actually really liked this. I felt like I got some great looks out of it. I just stuck my fingers in it. I got some great looks out of it. The blushes weren't my favorite. I feel like these worked better than the blushes in the next one though. Like, I don't know. I struggled with blushes, and I don't know why, but I liked that I had so much variety of shades in here, and I really liked how the shimmers worked. I just, like, every time I put a shimmer on, I was like, they make me feel pretty, and that's all I want. Like, I want to feel uplifted when I put on my makeup. Which means in second to last spot, I am going to do Christmas in the City, which are the 3 things. The blushes are okay. They're not my favorite. I could take them or leave them. Same with these palettes. Like, I feel like there's some shades in here that I really, really like. I feel like there's some shades in here that I don't like at all, and I find not great at all. This one, there was the one that I just struggled with trying to do something with it at all, and that's why it's in second to last place. The one in last place that I would say don't buy, please don't buy, because it was the worst palette, and I struggled with it more than I struggle with a lot of palettes. And it's because of those 2, like the 2 standout shades that are glitters. The rest of them worked fine. Like, all of the mattes were fine, and the lighter shimmer was fine. It didn't like get everywhere like the other 2 did. I didn't like the Christmas Coffee, and I'm very sad about that. But yeah, I would say this is the one to avoid. The other ones, as long as you're not expecting like, you know, craziness with your eyeshadows, I would say get them because they are very nice. Let me know if you've tried any of these palettes, what your thoughts and opinions are on them, what your thoughts are on my review, like if you want me to switch it up somehow in the future. Let me know that down below as well. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye.